Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brianna Elizabeth and I am here making another tutorial on how to maintain your hair after you have decided not to wash it very often. We have a guest today. We're needy. As I mentioned in my first video, the reason or the way in which I get the largest hair is by not washing it every day, and I feel like it's important to really specify what I do in the meantime while I'm not washing my hair, and how do I style it on a day-to-day basis, and how do I maintain 4-day unwashed hair. And this is the style that I am going to be basing the tutorial off of. This is one of my go-to hairstyles. Again, I wear my hair up every single day that I work, and so I have to get creative with some of my hairstyles, and I would love to do some tutorials on the hairstyles that I do. But for this instance, this is the hairstyle I'm going with. Super simple, super easy. It takes me about 10 minutes in the morning to complete once I've gotten my backcombing routine down. And it's easy to wear and it stays up all day and it doesn't cause any headaches. I do have heavier hair, so I know a lot of people out there have similar issues. By wearing down a lower ponytail, it actually reduces the amount of headaches that I get throughout the day. I'll go through the products that I have and any of that jazz, so stay tuned if you want to see the tutorial, and thank you again for watching. We're confused. Starting out with this look, I am going to be teasing my hair in different sections of my hair, not like in my first video where I really focused on where my hair was going to be down and I wanted the volume to be spread out throughout my hair to look a little bit more natural and a little bit less going out and too large. So because I'm wearing my hair up, I want to focus my hair volume in a different spot. So to get started, if you have bangs, it will be a little bit different depending on the length and depending on the cleanliness of it. Again, I'm on day 4, so my cleanliness, there are quite a few oils in my bangs, and so those will be going back today. And I want to volumize and tease my hair around where the bangs are, and then from there I will restyle them. So in the beginning part of this, just ignore your bangs and kind of work your way around the crown of the head. So when I started off my hair this morning, I used a little bit of baby powder. Yes, my hair is brunette, it is dark, and I worked the baby powder throughout my hair enough for it to not appear gray or like there's a lot of powder residue. So again, I'll show you a little bit of an example. Take about this much in my hand, working into both hands I'm really going around my head, and it's similar to the top of the base. So again, for it to be a little bit more fresh and to not have as many of the oils in that, that's what I like to use. Yes, dry shampoos are fantastic, but they contain a lot of texture in them, which create more grit in my hair, which by day 4, I don't need any more grit, to be honest. So starting on my Tease, I'm going to go really close to my head. I'm actually just going to grab at the temples a section of my hair that's probably not even like a ½ an inch. And I'm just grabbing all of it, again from the middle of the hair, teasing all the way down, compressing the tease to get it as close to my head as possible, and moving it forward. Because the front part of my hair has enough oils and grit in it, as I discussed, I actually don't need to use my teasing spray for this first layer. Second layer, going in right behind it. We're going to be doing quite a few layers, to be honest. Going in, brushing it out so I can mess it all up again, really. Bring it on down. Compressing the back comb, and at this point in time I will be using my texture tease spray, which I described in my first video, which is the Garnier Fructise texture tease styling spray. Depending on your hair, the cleanliness of it, you may need more or less of it than I'm using today. So just doing that one little spray. Layer 3 is going to be at the back crown of my head. So it's actually no longer on the very top of my head, but on the back corner of it. As you can see here, midway through. As you are teasing, feel free with the texture of your hair to increase or reduce the amount of hair that you're grabbing in order to create a better condensed volume. Bringing that on down and spraying one more time. And typically I would stop here if I'm going to be wearing a pretty high pony, but I'm not today. So last but not least, the last layer, grabbing it from right about my ear all the way back and around to the other part of my ear. In these layers, I'm actually not sectioning off side by side, but pulling it all back and teasing from there. Pulling it down, getting it nice and tight, and one more spray. Okay, flipping my hair over, you can notice a big difference here. Please do not walk out of the house like this. I mean, you can, it's almost Halloween, but I just don't recommend it. Okay, bring that on down. As I mentioned, again in my first video, which I can have the link down below, you don't want to press into the back comb. It defeats the purpose of what you've already done. And you're just bringing that first layer of hair that really wasn't teased into the back part of the back comb. And so you're just draping that back over your big old mess that you've created here. And combing it on back. If you've noticed, my part has really stayed in here because I've been wearing it this way all week. So instead what I do is grab what I need in my bangs, tie it on back. I do lift when I pull my bangs back, if you noticed, instead of just flat back. I want to make sure that my hair doesn't have an awkward starting and finishing point to the back comb. I want to make sure that it's blended out. And so I'm just taking a drape of the bang. If you notice that your bangs aren't as thick as mine, because granted, again, I'm growing out some really straight and thick choppy bangs, and so this is just those being brought over. There are quite a bit of them, and I do have a little bit more of the thick hair, so I don't need to back comb this, but by all means I highly recommend bigger bangs. So, but that is not the style I'm going for today. So I'm just grabbing them loosely, holding it with a pin. I do have a standard bobby pin, as you can see here. My favorite kind of bobby pins have the grit on the inside of those. This one does not today. Again, I don't necessarily need it. Bringing it back just like that. And I lost my hair tie. Just using a standard black no metal hairband. Or these I also really like, depending again on the texture of your hair and the heaviness of your hair. Mine, it won't work today just because it's day 4. It's going to be a little bit heavier. So you can see those little tiny, thin, tiny, I usually use 2 of them, little bands, but today just 1. So standard pony, just going in. I like to go in and usually like comb this back. I do have a weird flyaway bang going on today. I did flat iron it, but it is stubborn, so it's just going to stay that way. All right, and as I put it back, I don't hold tight and pull it all the way back. Instead, I loosely grab all the bottom hairs, let that kind of puff up, and if it's not as big as you would like it, just keep pulling on the front of it, and it should pull all of the back comb out in a bunch. And you can always fix it and get it to really come back with a comb if you need to. But other than that, you just secure it. I go around 3 times just because that's what my hair needs. Pull it really tight from the bottom and push up. the bangs are out of control today. So they're getting another little bobby pin, but I just tuck it with I nose it into the hair. So instead of clipping it and stapling it right on top, just tuck it right in because it's back combed. It's actually going to cover that for you, and it's going to let it slide in a little bit better. Sometimes I do bring a little of these hairs out, but yeah, that's pretty much it. My day 4 hair, trying to hide it a little bit from the public who does not know. And when in doubt, I can always back comb a little bit of the pony. There's quite a bit of hair oil that I do add to my hair, especially at night, which allows it to hopefully regain some strength for me back combing it so often. And that's how that looks. Perfect. Thanks again for watching my videos. If you have found me, thank you. I'm Brianna Elizabeth, and I really appreciate this. This has been really fun to make. I've always loved doing hair and makeup, and the dogs don't like it. But now that I don't live in a sorority or have 1,000 girl roommates, I definitely don't have a ton of hair to do and play around with. So thank you for letting me do this on YouTube, and I really enjoy any responses or feedback. If you guys want to put it down below, feel free to subscribe if you do want to see more videos and see some creativity things I can put together for you. I'm definitely out for it. Another thing too is I'm just recently became engaged, and it's been really fun planning and prioritizing some of the things and putting it all together. And one thing I noticed is not a lot of videos are up on YouTube on some tips and tricks or some ideas that people have come up across. And of course, I haven't been married, and hopefully this will be my only time, but it would be really nice to share within the community things that I've learned along the way, and doing that along with my fiance. So if you guys are interested, please thumbs up and let me know down below, and I'll get started on those videos too. Thank you very much.